facts. Our equality is among the worst. Our inequality is among the worst in the entire world. 1% of Nigeria, 1% of people living in Nigeria, citizens of Nigeria, control over 70% of the assets of the country. In other countries, it's about 20, 30. Here, I can tell you it's worse. I belong to that 1%. I can tell you that for sure. And I know that, and I know through the financial system, that is the 1%. So you have a crisis. We have one of the worst unemployment rates in surface of the earth. In Nigeria, a population of 200 million people, the number of people that are supposed to be working is 120 million. Today, the people that are employed and are working in Nigeria is just about 36 million. So you have over 70 million people that are supposed to be productive, not doing anything. The consequence is that you have a country that is not producing anything. It's not a productive country. You're no longer generating any revenue. You're sustaining a country by borrowing. And you're borrowing for consumption. So you see every day, the ministers say, we don't have an economic, we don't have a debt problem. We have an economic problem. Yesterday, I saw DMO showing everywhere that our debt is only 22% of our GDP. Because about $100 billion. That's only 22% of our GDP. That is low compared to the expected ratio of 40 to 50% compared with other countries. The reality is that that 100 billion is thrown away. There's nothing wrong in borrowing. If you borrow to do investment as an individual, that is how you borrow. But if you borrow for consumption, you're finished. And we borrow for consumption. The consequence is that your country today uses 93% of its revenue to service debt. Last year, 2021, for the first 5 months of the year, January to May, our income revenue was 1,847 billion. We used 1,802 billion to service debt. We have only 45 billion left, and we are borrowing more. Our budget last year was 13 trillion, about 13 trillion. We were supposed to borrow only 3. Because we were supposed to generate about 9 point something trillion. But all we generated last year in revenue was 5.7 trillion. So instead of having a deficit of 3 point something trillion last year, we had almost 8 trillion deficit. This year, our budget is 14 trillion. We have projected a revenue of 10 trillion. We've now added subsidy of 3 point something trillion, plus other borrowed money. I assure you, we are not going to get more than 6 trillion this year. So our budget deficit this year will be about 10 trillion. By next year, we will borrow money to service debts because our revenue cannot even service the debts. And what is even worse? What is even worse? There's something you call sinking fund. When you borrow money and you service the debts, you are supposed to be putting money into what you call sinking fund. So when that debt matures, you pay it. Nigeria has not put a kobo into a sinking fund in the past 1 year. And some of you who are here will not know that half of the bond Nigeria is issuing now will be payable in 2050. So all of us won't be there. Because you don't know. So we are borrowing your future. That is why when Jerry Ghana said go and look for your PVC, it is important. How do you survive a devastated economy? The first thing you do is that you shut down your cost. The cost of governance in Nigeria is unacceptable. The cost of governance in Nigeria said is unacceptable. The cost of keeping a councillor, a local government chairman, a house member, governor, this, you don't have it anywhere in the world. As an individual, as a nation, you start by cutting your cost. People say to us, how did we save money in Anambra State? How did we do this in Anambra State? When I became governor here, I didn't have the privilege of anybody handing over to me. You might not know. I didn't have a privilege. When I became governor here, the government house was burnt. Everybody knew under my predecessor. The governor's lodge was burnt under my predecessor. So there was no lodge, there was no government house, there was no nothing. I was sitting on as a chairman of Fidelity Bank when I was announced governor. And I arrived here, and they sworn me in as governor, and there was no place. And I had the phone number of my predecessor, Dr. Chris Ngigana. I called him and said, so, where is the paper? Where is the office? Where is this? He said to me, Peter, you are the governor. You are the office, you are everything. I asked them, how do you have, I brought all the commissioners and the permanent secretaries. Tell me what the state wants to do. Tell me what they want to achieve. Nobody have an idea. And I said to them, do you have Ministry of Planning? They said no. I said, okay, I'm creating Ministry of Planning today. And I brought one of you in Unizik, Dr. Nkemo Keke. Nkemo Keke was my first commissioner for planning. I said, Nkem, if you have not planned, we are planning to fail. Let's deal with this planning department. That's how we set up planning department. That's how I knew. And we said, what are we going to do? We decided that we are going to work along, adopt what is called Millennium Development Goals, which is a carefully articulated and developed program by United Nations. We are going to adopt it as our vision. And we say, how are we going to deliver this? And we sat down and articulated what we called Anambra Integrated Development Strategy. I want to show you how you can work when you have a situation that is devastated. After we did that study, we decided we are going to work. Pulling people out of poverty is number one thing, MDG. Number two is education. Number three is health. We looked at every angle of it and said, okay, we're not going to deal with all this. But we have no money. But we found out one thing. The office of the governor actually consumes about 30-something% of our budget. 30-something% of our budget goes to the office of the governor. And I said, no. Let's sectorize all this because we have no money. How much are we giving to fighting poverty, which is opening up rural roads? Because you want to fight poverty, you open up rural roads, rural infrastructure. We said, this is a percentage. How much do we put in education? Because education is important. We were number 26 and 27 in NECO. I said I will not accept it. We must be among the best 6. How much we put this amount? By the time we finish sharing that money, based on percentage, I can tell you, the office of the governor did not have more than 5%. In fact, it was 4% something. And everybody said, Governor, you can't survive on this. Governor, you're not going to deal with it. I said, don't worry. It is my office. Let's start from day one and let's know what we can cut. One, there's office of First Lady. Cut it off. Nobody voted for my wife. It's not part of this. You know, said, no, don't bring that. My wife, we're very close. I love her. She's in my house. But nobody voted for her. Cut off that confusion. Let's not deal with that. So, that saved us almost 2.something billion naira in our budget. And I told the people, when will Governor of Anambra State have a lodge in Abuja? What are we doing with it? It was costing us this amount of money every month to service. My predecessor bought it for 1 billion naira. Very lovely place, very nice place. But it was costing us money. We had almost 80 staff there, doing nothing, except that if I come to the airport, the day I will come, they'll carry 20 cars all over the place, creating confusion. Shut it down. We don't need it. So we started chopping off our cost. I used to stay here. We had 12 guest houses of governor in this circle. I shut all of them down. If you look at it, outside the governor's lodge, you see they are trying to build, they were trying to build presidential lodge there. I shut down the contract. The president doesn't live in Oka, and we don't need a presidential lodge. And everybody said, no, it's in every state. I said, don't worry. It is me who needs it. Shut it down. Come to the house. This is how you used to keep Governor Solo house? No. Because I didn't have an office and a lodge, remember, there's already a budget that year, approved budget, to renovate and refurbish the office of the governor for 298 million, which is about 300 million. They've already given it a contract or something, it's already there, and I said to the person, we don't have money. We need to shut it down. Everything cost us 43,200,000. Everything. The only thing I didn't buy new was a table. There was a table used by Dr. Mbadinuju. They kept one place. So I said, listen, this is table. So why are you buying new table? Table is table. Bring this table here and polish it. We don't need new table. And that table I used it for 8 years. Nothing happened to it. So we didn't buy a new one. To refurbish the office of the governor, to refurbish the lodge, the budget was approved budget, 486 million. Every single thing we did in that lodge cost us 81 million naira. From 486. They were trying to buy bed from Dubai, bed, chair from this. I said, listen, we're in Oka. There must be somebody that can do bed in Oka. Bed is bed. It's not it's a place for somebody to sleep. It doesn't make any difference. If you will be awake, even if they buy gold bed, you will be awake. So leave it. Let's buy bed in Oka. Now that we went to Chifudaja from Osobo and he did bed. They said, oh, they want leather seat. I said, okay, don't want. Leather seat is chair covered with leather. Is that not? Udaja, cover this chair with leather. The leather seat. And what am I saying? That's how we went around, chopping every cost. Because we didn't have money. We said we're going to save money. People say it's impossible. We cannot save money. We cannot do this. Everywhere you go, people, oh, this. I didn't have one secretariat. As you know, there was no secretariat when I came here. You have Ministry of this in Abaga. Ministry of this, I said, we're going to build a secretariat. They said, no, where will you find the money to do it? I said, we are going to do it with money we are going to save from all these expenses of governor going to conference, governor traveling. You know, you're going to Abuja. You have 30 people who are not invited for the meeting accompanying you. What are they going to Abuja to do? All these people, listen, everybody's going because of allowance. I tell people, I went to Onovo, IG of police. I said, Onovo, if I come to Abuja, give me 2 police people. Police is the police. I don't need to carry police from Oka. Give me 2. When told the DGSSS, Onovo said, what type of thing is this? I said, listen, it's only me that is invited to a meeting in Abuja. These people, in the 3 trips I went with them, over 30 of them, it was costing us over 10 million in each trip. You buy their ticket, they claim allowance and everything. We go into a hotel, and you know, because they're not going to the meeting, when people are idle, they eat more. So they're in hotel eating. So I said, everybody remain in Oka. Don't go with me. So you can chop off the cost. We used to have a fuel dump. We used to have a fuel dump here. I stopped the fuel dump. I said, I won't have any fuel because it will cost us 30-something million naira every month for the fuel dump. Until one day, I stopped my motor in the middle of the road and said, I want to know how many of these 22 cars that is carrying somebody. Only 5. That day, my convoy became 5 vehicles. No more. And you buy fuel when I'm there. It cost us less than 2 million a month. So what am I trying to say? You chop, the first thing you do when things are bad is that you shut down the cost. Our schools, our secondary school had generators. Every secondary school in Anambra State had generators. You know how we bought that generator? Somebody gave me a bill to put street lights from this my office in Oka here to my lodge. And how I'm going pouring the street light. And he get the 500 and something million naira. And I asked the Commissioner for Education, how many secondary schools do we have in Anambra State? It was about 500. I called the man who said generator, say, if I buy from you 540 kVA generators, which is just for the school to have light and fan, how much will it cost? You get about the same amount, 550 million. I say, pay this man to buy generator and keep to all the secondary schools, leave the street lights. Governor will work here till 6, 7, he goes to his house. If I don't need light on the street, these children need light to be in their school. So these are what we did. Obasanjo came here. Everybody knew how Obasanjo came here. When Obasanjo wanted to come here, I went to him and said, we don't have any place for the president to sleep. You are the president of the country. You can come in the morning and go in the evening. There's no place for you to sleep. He insisted. He said, I will sleep in Oka for 3 days. Go and find me a place to sleep. I called the people. I said, please come. I have a lodge where I live. We don't have presidential. I have a lodge where I live. Come and look at it. If it's good, I'll give you the key for 1 month. And they came. And they said, it's okay. Of course, the only person who have property in my house is my wife. I'm not trying to do this, you know. It's difficult, you know. It's even pain for me when I see her trying to go out. Because she will be running around, where's my red trouser, where's my red pig, where's my red shoe, this. So I said, Madam, Obasanjo is coming to spend time there. So me, I don't take I'm going to the hotel. It cost us less than 200,000 in hotel for the 3 days that he was here. And we were building a lodge for 600 and something million naira. That lodge will have cost us 2 billion. By the time we finished. When Jonathan came, it was the same thing. Oh, we need this type of car, this type of car, this type of car. And civil servants, everybody will come, let's go and buy it. I said, listen, these cars are in Delta. Let's go and borrow the car and give them. When he goes, we'll return their car. And we did that. It didn't cost us anything. I said, they have the car already there. Just tell Delta people. And luckily for us, Jonathan went through Asaba. So as soon as he crossed the bridge, you return their cars and come back home. You don't need to worry yourself. Why are you going money to buy it. What are you going to use it for? So, what am I trying to say? The cost of governance in Nigeria is unacceptable. Today, universities are closed. Universities are closed because of the demand of the lecturers. But I can tell you, the government finds more time to negotiate with pandits more than the time they spend in negotiating with lecturers. This is the only country in the world where a thug earns more money than a professor. Tell me why the professor will be doing research. Is it not better to become a thug since and help yourself? By now, most of them would have been senior thugs. This is a country where I'll just conclude now. I don't know what is happening in the devastated economy. This is a country where you see a house member, a local government chairman, a legislator dashing car, and they say it's doing well, and the lecturer is not paid. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. I don't use America as an example, but I want to use this slide as an example. The biggest American state is California. California is a country. California GDP is $3.2 trillion. So California is 8 times Nigerian GDP. Our GDP is 400. So it times 8. The governor of California, his salary is $225,000. The salary of Stanford professors are $300,000. In this country, professors will be begging the governor for food. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. And that is why we're killing the system, because we have no value for education. We borrow money. So there's so many things you can do. How do you survive a devastated economy? Today we say we are fighting corruption. We're not fighting corruption. If you have a leader with integrity, you reduce stealing by 70%. You have to approve the money they will steal. I was governor of Anambra State for 8 years. Let anybody come and show me the one that is stolen. The day I left office here, I wasn't owing any pension, any contractor. Igwe can tell you, Igwe is my contractor. Ask him. I used to beg contractors, bring your fee, let me pay you. I used to see contractors say, I bring your certificate, let me pay you. I bought vehicles from Innocent, 5 billion. I paid him 1 year before he gave me even 1 car. 1 year. Innocent is there, he will tell you. That's why he said, this is part of Peter Obi's legacy. And in that period, we were able to save in 3 banks. And I want to show it, and I'll come to the banks. Access Bank, the day I left office, I had $50 million, 12 billion naira. I had in Diamond Bank, $50 million, 12 billion naira. And I had the Fidelity Bank, $56 million, 12 billion naira. And I was not owing anybody. We invested, we bought shares. We bought shares in different companies. Budweiser, the company you see today, that bought International Breweries, the highest shareholder is Anambra State. I bought the shares for $25 million. That's why you go for the chairman. I can go on and on. SPP, we bought shares of $59 million. And this is for your state money. So nobody can tell you, because we shut down everything. I was just telling your lecturer, I said, I used to go to Abuja. The president would tell me, nobody's happy with you. Nobody's happy with you, Peter. All these big men came here, they're not happy. And I said, Mr. President, I never promised anybody happiness. I promised to free school, and we are #1 in education. But everybody knew, from 26 to #1. So I used to tell them, we are #1 in education. But we are not #1 in happiness. Because we didn't promise happiness. We had the best road network. And of course, like I said, the wife will always tell me, you are the only governor in Nigeria without office of first lady. I said, Mommy, we have enough confusion in Anambra State. To add that one again, how can we buy 22 vehicle convoy for somebody who does not have any contribution to what we are doing, and it's running around all over the place, creating confusion every day? It doesn't work, it can't work. I don't want to be part of that. So, if you are looking for strategy to survive in a devastated economy, it is doing the right thing. We can start doing the right thing by investing. We can borrow money, invest it properly, and everything. Chairman, I thank you for the opportunity. I thank the university for the opportunity of speaking to you tonight. But to show you one where borrowing is critical, I always use this as an example. I don't want to bring in China this night. I use similar countries. As I conclude, Bangladesh. I was in Bangladesh in 2010. I spent 2008, I spent 2 weeks. In 2010, Bangladesh GDP was $115 billion. Their per capita is $780, and they're owing $45 billion. So their debt was 36% of their GDP. In 2010, Nigerian GDP is $375 billion. Our per capita was $225. $2,225 in 2010. Today, Bangladesh GDP is about $330 billion. So their GDP has grown 3 times from 2010. Their per capita is now 2,050. So they've grown 3 times. Their debt have increased to a little bit over 100, still 36%. Nigeria in 2010, their debt is about $30 billion, which was just less than 10% of their GDP, or about that. Since then, Nigeria has borrowed $60-something billion. As of today, our GDP is about $400 billion. Our per capita is about 2,000. So we lost 10% in 2 years. So we have not earned any money. We have not saved anything. What happened? The money we borrowed was thrown away. It has nothing to do with this government or party. I'm not talking about party politics here. I'm telling you, what you are seeing in Nigeria is cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. And my dear people, as the chairman said to you, go and get your PVC and take back your country. If you allow us to continue what we are doing today, the society we abuse today, or we are abusing today, will take its revenge on you. Thank you and God bless you.